I'm interested in, particularly for a couple of reasons, in what you feel of the work we've done so far has been most useful. And I'm interested partly from the point that it's always interesting to me because it helps kind of, as I work with other people, like what's helpful. But also I think it's sometimes helpful perhaps for you to just reflect a little bit and go, actually, these are the places that you feel have made the impact.
It's kind of a strange one to answer because, I think there's been a lot, but the one thing I find myself recommending to other people is that sort of idea of, sort of meditation and that kind of body scan thing. And because, even today, I had a conversation with two workmates which kind of took quite a dark, desperate turn.
I'm intrigued.
Well, one of my colleagues is been going through quite a lot. He's had a lot of health problems, both his physical health and he's got a few mental health issues. He's definitely depressed, but he's just not seeing anybody about it or talking about it or seeing his doctor or and he fucking loves a moan. But every so often he just will stray onto things which you think, yeah, that's a bit of an alarm bell. So yeah, he's working at least sort of 10 hours a day. He's very worried about his health. And yeah, he's just on the edge all the time. And he's a nice enough guy. He's, I like him, but, and I have sort of said, look, you need to set boundaries and you need to start at a certain time and finish at a certain time and do something to sort of draw a line under the day.
So in terms of what you can see that's helped you, what you're saying is that that lack of talking and that lack of boundary for him, you can see in you how that's made a difference?
Yeah. And also, as I say, one of the things that I've recommended to him is that, he sort of starts doing like that kind of meditation or body scan or whatever, and just take time out to sort of either do it at the start of the day or do it at the end of the day, or just sort of like use it as a sort of demarcation.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, sometimes I go for a walk and, do it at a particular time and, do it every day at the same time, and just try and use it as a way of exercising some of that stuff.
Yeah. So it sounds like the meditation definitely has sounds like it's become a bit of a cornerstone, really, in terms of your stability and your mood.
It's something I do pretty much every day.
Yeah, which is great. What else do you think has been helpful? Like, what else do you find yourself reflecting on or coming back to or using?
I find myself a lot of the time coming back to the sort of old Jiminy Cricket, the inner voice stuff, and I still get it. I still get it a lot. But
don't worry, I do too. It's what you do with it, which is what matters.
Yeah, exactly. So at least you don't get it in my voice, or maybe you do.
not yet. Day comes, I'll let you know. But so in terms of it sounds like the awareness of that.
Yeah, the awareness of it, and just that sort of recognizing it and recognizing. I don't feel a spiral as much as I did before. I feel that's better. Yeah,
it feels like to me that whereas before your mood could sort of do that, and I remember I think we had a session on Zoom maybe 6-8 months ago where we were talking, and we had a session in person as well. We were talking about what happens when you go down and how you get through that and how you support yourself through that. And then just as we talk about it now, I'm mindful there just seems to have been less of that that's happened. And I know there have been some times there's been some quite strong anxiety and panic feelings. But again, it sounds like you've been more able to sort of manage it as it's happened. But there just seems to be a bit more stability in terms of your mood.
I think so. I mean, I think it's definitely I mean, it still happened the occasional time, but it's happened a lot less. And I think I've kind of recognised what's happening instead of sort of panicking about it and just let myself go through it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas before I think probably I tried to fight it and stuff or whatever and just made it worse, or I panicked and that made it, you know. So it still happened occasionally, but it's it just didn't feel like the end of the world.
Yeah. Well, it strikes me as well, and I'm interested in how it feels to you, but it strikes me that you seem less at the mercy of your own mood and thoughts, and not that control is really the thing we're aspiring toward, but it does feel like you're more able to influence and less a victim of the kind of changing circumstance of your inner landscape, where there'll be times in the past where it would just feel impossible and bleak and you'd shut down and it would be hard to get out of that place. It's not that you can't go into that place, but it just seems like you feel more empowered to me somehow in how you are with your kind of mental and emotional life.
I think so. I mean, I still go to those places sometimes. You know, I do still have my bleak episodes, but it just feels like I recognise what's happening and sort of the best way of managing it sometimes is not to fight it and just to let it happen and know that okay, I'm going to feel like shit, but I'll feel better tomorrow.
I think that's the difference, because when we really fight those places, it's because we're terrified of them.
Yeah.
Like we feel like they're going to annihilate us. Like if I go down this hole, I might never come out of it again. When it's like, okay, my mood feels low, I feel a bit shit in myself, I feel anxious, but I kind of know that it's going to pass, and it's going to pass in a day or so.
Yeah.
It's easy just to sort of go through it, and it's not pleasant, and it's not a nice place to be. But in a sense, what you resist will persist anyway. So kind of pulling back and fighting is in a sense feeding the pattern, as opposed to kind of gliding through it a bit more.